Facebook, good afternoon if you're in New York. Coming to you from Rythmia Life Advancement Center in Guanacaste, Costa Rica. And it's an amazing place. Costa Rica is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful country. And Rythmia is a crazily good place. What's about Rythmia? What is it? Rythmia is a life advancement center that uses a program, a metaphysical program, along with plant medicine, namely ayahuasca, to bring about a soul merger. And that soul merger has tremendous benefits to the receiver of that merger. How do I know? Over 15,000 people have been through the doors here at Rythmia. From athletes, politicians, business leaders, billionaires, actors, actresses, musicians, and normal people just like you and me come here and have this amazing experience. We've been doing it for 7 years, and more people come every year than did the last year to experience this thing, and all kinds of people from all walks of life, like I said. 15,000 guests, 97.23% of them report a life-changing miracle during their stay. 6 months later, 90.38% state that this was the week that changed their life. Wow, amazing stuff. Over 2,400 TripAdvisor top five-star reviews. Amazing, amazing place. And every week, there's more amazing things happening. Last week, Yolanda Van Zant was here and had a gorgeous week. Super cool people. Every week, there's more people that are good. This little broadcast is Don't number 700, number 8. Don'ts number 8, which is the things not to do. So most people have this soul merger, and then they want to become a beneficial presence on the planet. And this is about the transition from wanting to become a beneficial presence to actually becoming a beneficial presence, and what not to do. And last week, or the week before, last week I was in San Jose. But the week before, I talked about a positive mental attitude in the one study about having a positive mental attitude. And one of the things that is present there is awareness. We have to be aware of when we're alive and where we are in the course of history in order to feel real gratitude. And I want to explain this to you. So I was watching a TV show called The Nick, which was about the Knickerbocker Hospital in Manhattan at the turn of the century of 1900. And it was medically period correct, so they say. So a lot of things that you're seeing in this TV show bring about an awareness of what things were like just a short while ago. So I was born in 1963. So the halfway mark, if I look just 60 years before I was born, and that is set in that period of 1900 at this Knickerbocker Hotel. And if I tell you the brutality of the surgeries they were performing and the things that they believed were true, and how they were frying people with x-rays, and just, it was crazy, just 60 years before the birth of me. So last week, the week before, I had a little fall. I was walking on wet leaves on concrete, and I fell and I hit my elbow. And it turns out I broke it. And what's so crazy is I was sitting in San Jose and with a great doctor, because the healthcare is great here. And the doctor said to me, "Jerry, we're going to have to put a little screw in your arm. We're going to have to take a little bit of your bone cartilage and put it in your arm. And, within 2 months, you're going to be better than you were before." And you know what I thought? I swear to you. I thought, how lucky am I to be born? If I were born 60 years before, it might have been a completely different story about what happened to my arm. Now, if I didn't have context for where I was in history, I might have felt upset that this got fractured or broken or whatever. But I wasn't upset at all. I was excited and pleased and grateful that how lucky am I to have had this happen at a time like this when those technologies are available to all of us, to like what's happened with medicine in the past 100 years blows your mind. What a great time to be alive. Amazing stuff, right? So that's just, I guess, one example of how to look at things, of the best way to look at things in an awareness that's not from a standpoint of entitlement, but from a standpoint of complete gratitude. It's an important thing. The second thing, and I was thinking about it, don't wait until you're healed to become a beneficial presence. You gotta hear that. A lot of people use "I'm not healed enough yet" as an excuse to keep on the sidelines. Do not do it. Why? Because take a look at the people who've had the greatest impact on the world in our lifetimes, right? Just take a look at them. None of them were really healed. They were in the process of healing. Take a look at the life of Martin Luther King and really look into it and see. Thank God he didn't wait to get healed, right? Thank God. Thank God Abraham Lincoln didn't wait till he was fully healed, right? Thank God Mother Teresa didn't wait until she was fully healed to help people. Just take a look. Take a look at all of the people. Thank God JFK didn't wait to get healed to help people. Thank God Robbie Kennedy didn't wait to get healed to help people. Take a look at all of them. And what you're going to see is that the journey is a healing process. So when you have a soul merger and you decide you want to become a beneficial presence, you're never fully cooked. You're never a pheasant under a piece of glass. This is perfect. You're always in this progression. So therefore, if you wait till you're healed, what you're saying to the universe is, I'll get it next life, because you're completely sidelined this life. The idea is, I'm going to step in, put my hat in the ring, take my merged soul, pick my way of becoming a beneficial presence, and get on this healing journey. And then the time between you deciding how you're going to become a beneficial presence and now is your ceremony. This is your journey. This is your ceremony. So don't wait till you're healed to start. Now, the next one, I call it part selection. So one way to stay sidelined forever is by doing part selection. So what does that mean? That means that well, so I had my merger and I want to become a beneficial presence by becoming the best baker in the world, but I don't want to do the things that I don't want to do to get there. That's called part selection. Well, what part do you like? I like putting the icing on the cake. Yeah, but how about baking it and learning to do this? Oh no, that's not for me. Someone else have to. I just like putting the icing on the cake. Not going to work. That's called part selection. So in this becoming a beneficial presence, in this deciding to become a beneficial presence, there's going to be a lot of parts of the overall thing that you don't like. And those parts, you're doing it, becomes duty and sacrifice. And part of getting there involves duty and sacrifice. It does. If you just want to do the parts that you like, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to be in trouble. Because even with this rythmia, right, this business that I'm involved in, I love doing plant medicine. I love talking to you. I love talking to the guests and hearing their stories and all that, I'm not big on, as a matter of fact, I really dislike the financial aspect of this business, but it's part of it. I cannot part select that out. I can't, right? So part selection becomes the ability to do part selection usually comes much later in the process. What do I mean by that? So a friend of Rythmia, Andre 3000, or Three Stacks as he's known, put out an album last week, and the album had a lot of medicine music in it. And I'm sure it will reach critical acclaim, but I doubt it will receive commercial success. I doubt. Now, he chose to put that out now because he's already in flow. He's a master of what he's done. He created pop music, and that music sold like crazy. And now he can part select, so he doesn't have to do pop music. He can do what his heart desires, right? So my friend Papa John, right? He had the biggest pizza business, one of the biggest pizza businesses in the world that he built. And he did all of the work and made the money and did that so that he can have the life that he wants now. He can part select now. But if you take a look at this from merger to becoming a beneficial presence and know that it's, I use 10 years. It's somewhere between 7 years and 20 years. And by the way, people who really hit it out of the park sometimes are in it 30 years in their thing, building it. But in this long thing, there's a point in the band where you become in flow. And that point is when you've gotten personal mastery over what you're doing. You've gotten enough people to buy off on it that they're actually energetically with you, and you've helped enough people, you've made enough a difference that if you take a look at it as energy, it goes this way and all the energy around it is helping it and it's in flow. And at that point, if you're the founder, the creator, the maker, the music maker, the whatever, you could pretty much do whatever you want and it's still going to keep going. That's the point where you can start part selection. If you start part selection young, at the beginning of a process, I want to put on the cheese, but I don't want to put on the sauce. I want to do this, but I don't want to do that. You're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. Part selection, if it does happen at all, happens later and sometimes never. So in this glorious business that I get to be involved in, that I get to be involved in, that helps all these people and does all this stuff, there's a lot of parts of it that I don't like, but I still have to do them. I still have to do them. I can't part select them out yet. I'm going to try in the next few years. I am going to try. About 10 years into it, I'm going to try, right? And I have friends, I swear to you, I have a friend who's one of the best boxers in the world. And he loves to box, but doesn't like to train. Part of the thing, part of it. You can't part select the training out. I have guys who are actors that don't like doing PR, but it's part of it. So you can't part select it out. So my don't is a do. Do everything. Do everything. So when you say, okay, look it, I'm going to become the best blank in the world. Have your merger, set your goal, and do everything until you're in flow. How do you know you're in flow? You can take your hands off the wheel and it goes to where you're going anyway. When does that happen? After you built your road, after you've experienced mastery, after you've helped enough people, after you've gotten enough buy-in because people see what you're doing is real, and that happens. Not before. Not before. So the overall tone of that is harsh, right? Because people want to have a fantasy of having this great success and having it be just the way that I want it, and having the process be beautiful and easy and smooth. And guess what? I have not in my life, and I'm 60, seen that once. I have not seen a direct progression of ease in super success. If you take a look at it, it's always a hard story. It gets easier as it gets banded out here. But you're not there yet. When you're starting, you have to take all of it and then work through each piece of it until you obtain mastery and until you get flow. Just a fact. Okay, I know that's not what you want to hear. Everybody, and by the way, people that sell books, systems, things that say you can bypass that, in my opinion, are full of baloney. I haven't seen it once. And I know a lot of people. I know 15,000 just from here. I've had over 4,000 employees in my past. So what do I know? 20, 25,000 people? And then I know super successful people. Not once have I seen it with a shortcut. There is no shortcut. So that's my don't for you today, my do. Okay, God bless you, God keep you, God hold you. And until next week, we'll see you.